Alright, hello everybody, Silver here. We started in the menu today. However, I didn't have anything like super important to talk about. The only thing I really wanted to talk about is today should be the release of Power Worlds 1.0, which I'm excited for. I cannot wait to play it. I did have to make my video first before I started downloading it. Before I wanted to download it. I haven't checked to see if it got postponed, but it should be today. It shouldn't be postponed. I haven't seen anything about that yet. And if it runs right, I might even make videos on it. It would not be a big playthrough in terms of oh hey, I'm gonna have a huge server. It would be a single player playthrough, to be fair. They say they're adding story and stuff, new pals, yada yada. Because I got Power World when it first came out. I've had the game since it was on early release. As soon as it was in Steam, I had the game. Because it seemed like a cool idea. Actually, I had wanted a kind of more open world base building style of Pokemon game for a long time. Because I feel like it could work well in that type of genre. And the fact that Pokemon takes itself way too fucking seriously, to the point to where they're no guns. But then you also see in Pokemon Origins, you can hear a Team Rocket member or something beating a Marowak to death. They don't want you to think that it's a dark world, but then you also see how many fucked up Pokedex entries there are, as well as things like Pokemon Origins or Pokemon the Origin, whatever it's called. So that smaller series where it was red and green, rather than Ash being the main character. I did fuck up and I forgot to do Shiyu defense. I did get off, because I needed to let my PC cool down a bit. And then I did not come back. Which makes me sad. I'm kind of upset about that. But no, I do really hope Power World, the 1.0, is good. I hope it's good. Actually. And I'm excited to see. Because the last time I played, during the last updates, it was already, way more expanded than it had been on first release. And I'm excited to see what they've done with it for 1.0. I also kind of want to, I kind of hope they keep up with Power World and, make more updates, add more stuff to it as well, on top of what they've already done. Because it would be a shame for them not to continue to, update it, you know? It'd be a very big shame. And they're super open about modding, capability. They're just yeah, no, it is perfectly fine to mod. We encourage you to mod your game. They even said it when they were oh, since we're going to be transferring to 1.0, your mods might not work because we're changing so much in 1.0 that some of the old stuff is redundant and things have changed, so you might have to, either have those updated, wait for an update to come out for your favorite mods, that kind of stuff. They acknowledge the modding community, which is what more games should do. They should acknowledge the modding community, be perfectly fine with you to mod a game that you bought, by the way. Especially if it's like a game you buy. It's a bit different if it's like, oh hey, this game is like live service. It's like, you know, kind of like this. You wouldn't want somebody modding the game in ways to like make shit easier. I don't feel bad about cosmetic mods, to be fair. I'm just not gonna lie. I'm not gonna feel bad about cosmetic mods for a game like this, because it affects nobody, and I know Hoyo games have a very big modding community for their games. We know they're mostly degenerate, but like, that's like every modding community, to be fair. Oh, hey Norma. What you doing? What you doing there, Norma? Are you working, Norma? But, nah. I know a lot of people have, people have different opinions on, like, the modding communities and stuff. About, like, what would be okay in a modding community and what's not. And I really, like, I'm one of the people, I do not mind any kind of modding for a game, so long as it's like, if it's a single player game, mod literally anything. Like, I don't care if you're cheating, whatever. You can mod whatever so long as you're not trying to do like, oh hey, this is a speed run and I'm modding Minecraft to make myself have better luck. Dream. Sorry. Something caught my throat there. But modding and cheating, quotes, in like a single player game, while like the cheating stuff, like cheat engine, can devalue an experience a little bit, it can also heighten the experience, and for certain mods, you would need cheat engine to even access the content to it. You know? Because not every mod author is going to make it so, oh hey, I'm going to put guns into the world of Dark Souls. They're not going to just have them laying around in, like, claimable spots. They're going to just say, oh hey, use cheat engine. It acts like a fucking crossbow that's, like, rapid fire. You know? But either way, it's like, there's a genuine, I feel like mods are something that can keep games alive, and I'm glad Palworld sees that, and they acknowledge their modding community. They acknowledge that, yeah, hey, you know, since we're updating to 1.0, if you have any mods, they might not work when 1.0 releases, so be prepared for that. They prepared the community for that. They physically made an announcement on the Steam page that that's going to happen. Unlike things like fucking Skyrim, I mean, everybody who mods Skyrim and Fallout knows every time that there's an update that it's gonna break mods. But with things like Skyrim, it is still very it really shouldn't. I don't feel like Skyrim is a game that should like continuously and keep getting more and more fucking updates. Because by this point, it literally just breaks the mods that already exist. Like, actually. It's just breaking pre-existing mods. Which is kind of fucked up. I need energy regen. And it's... A lot of people don't really like that they keep breaking fucking mods that way. Swing jazz. I'll just do this. Preset config. I'll swap this. But no, it's... I really feel mods themselves can keep a game alive, can keep it running for a lot longer than it normally or otherwise would. There's no reason for people to say, yeah, no modding my game, unless it's like, you know, MMORPG. You know, Final Fantasy, while there are mods, they're almost exclusively cosmetics. Like cosmetic mods that change pre-existing things. And I'm fine with that. That you're not like breaking anything, but there are people who do add things that like can change how the game plays, like mods that let you zoom out more, which can give you a bit of a tactical advantage on in like raids and stuff. There's a lot of things that you can do, which that's on an individual for creating it and then also the person who downloaded it using it for that. Because there's some people who just use that type of mod for like getting a better picture, right? For getting like a wider picture, like let's say, oh hey, I want to get a picture of my entire, you know, free company. We're all taking like a group picture. And then they do it that way. But you can, that's perfectly fine, in my opinion. You could do that. I don't feel wrong about that. But mods will always be used in ways that people don't expect, regardless. And there's not much you can do to, like, except for saying, oh hey, I'm willing to kill my game faster by not allowing mods. Even this game. I feel like not actually allowing mods on, like, the characters is a bit fucked up. Because nobody's using it to, like, cheat the system. Not like you could, really, but... Nobody is using it for that. They are mostly just being like, yeah, no, it's, we're gonna keep this kind of like, how do I explain this? Mods for this game are a bit different, because they do sell skins in this game, but only for very select agents. Very select agents. And so a mod for an agent that doesn't necessarily have a skin at all, and is likely never to get a skin, is a fun and good idea. It's something you could just be like, yeah, hey, I'm gonna use this to on like my favorite agent because I can't do it myself. Like, I don't have... There's no way to get this in-game nothing like this at all. Hey, that's a +2 on crit rate. I'll take that. I might over crit here soon. At some point. Because I still have to do this. Then I need a 6. Which I can get. I could try to hold a 6. It needs energy regen on top. For the 6. That's its main stat. Okay. But yeah, no, it's a game like this. I can see more people having a stink about mods, but I don't really see the reason why people would necessarily cause a stink about it, because it's not like really those mods aren't doing anything that's not going to give money to the developers of it to begin with. It's not going to prevent people from buying skins. In fact, some of the mods only work on some of the skins. So you would have to buy the skin in order to use that mod. Which enthuses people to buy the skin. In fact, it makes people want that skin, so they can be like, oh yeah, hey, I want to use that mod. You know? Regardless, this was mostly about, how, one point out. I'm planning on playing it, and if it feels like something I could make, like, a single-player video on, I might. I might, actually. I just wanted that to be known. So it wasn't something that, if it happens, that it would be super surprising. Because I play other fucking games than ZZZ. I play a lot of games. ZZZ is just one that I've kind of been, like, hooked on lately. I'm hooked on phonics, brother. And it is really fun. I just have certain issues with how the game is being developed and some of the stuff that comes through it. But that's because I enjoy the game and I don't want it to be a shit show. You know? Like, it's kind of like how there are, like, Pokemon fanboys who, even though the games are nowhere near the quality that they should be for how fucking the series is in, like, even the normie zeitgeist, it's like the quality of the games and shit is just ass and have been for a bit. When, you know, they could be giving us actual, like, substance and shit. They could be giving us much more, and they're choosing not to because they want to cheap out because they know people are just gonna fucking buy it. Specifically, the Pokemon fanboys. Just like that, there are Hoyo fanboys who says Hoyo can do no wrong and will buy every slop bullshit that comes out. When, honestly, that just makes slop bullshit. You have to, like, put your fucking foot down at some point and be like, okay, enough's enough. Give me something of substance. You know? You do have to do that at some point in your fucking life. You can't just say, nah, it's not gonna worry about it. This is new. That's brand new. Literally just came out not long ago. Oh, I haven't done this. I forgot. I forgot to do this. Let's do this. Let's do this so I can make sure that I've done this. I completely forgot when a new character comes out that this comes out. Uh, I almost didn't press the event thing. I almost just teleported there instead to the place to do the bottle cap thing. But no, it's I'm excited. There are sorry, I was on the topic of Hoyo fanboys. Let me explain that. There are people, regardless, who are going to say, "Oh yeah, no, Hoyo can do no wrong." You know, there's always that in fandoms and like people who play games. That is always the thing. But it's something that's like, it should be something people pay much more attention to and be like, oh hey, you know, let's band together as fans of a series to get what we deserve and what we're paying for, rather than, oh hey, there's such a small little company, if we don't buy the games, they're gonna go out of business. They're gonna stop doing it. When that's tough luck for the fucking company. It would tell you one of two things. Either they're, you know, either they're brave enough to say, oh yeah, hey, our bad, let's fix it. Let's fix up our games so people can actually enjoy them and feel like they're getting what they paid for. Or, how dare you, we are going out of business, feel bad for us. Which I don't feel bad for when a company does that kind of thing. I'm just gonna be honest. It does, I don't like, and I don't want, like, game companies to go out of business. But if a company above them is somehow saying and giving that final say as to what, as to like, oh hey, you know, this brand that we have here, apparently people aren't liking it enough anymore. It was super popular, but we're just not gonna, you know, help. We're not gonna keep you afloat anymore. Which companies will do that, to be honest. But that's when those game developers, the people working for them, can be like, oh hey, now I can actually, you know, join a company that respects me enough to do shit. You know what I mean? I don't want, like, I don't want companies to go out of business, like game companies specifically. Because games are a big portion of my life, and I know they're a big portion of a lot of people's lives. Uh, I do honestly want games to succeed. They should. Just sometimes the company above the game, they're thinking more like a company rather than being like, oh hey, let's be an actual, you know, what we should be and provide whimsy and joy to motherfuckers in their lives. Like that's what games are about. Is being an escape, providing whimsy, making you feel, you know, a bit out of, you know, what you would be stuck in, the world that you're a part of. You're actually getting, you know, some semblance of escapism. That's what games are. It should be. And companies don't realize that. They just think about money. That's why, like, Call of Duty and all of those fucking games that are just, like, copy-paste slop of each other suck. That's why people don't really care too much about them anymore. You don't hear quite as much about Call of Duty and shit. You hear about older Call of Duty, like a Modern Warfare era, especially from, like, let's say YouTubers and shit. You'll hear people saying, oh, you know, they'll, like, reminiscing about that necessarily. You'll see that, you'll hear it, but as far as, like, other shit goes, where it's like, oh yeah, hey, excuse me, where it's like, oh yeah, hey, you know, we're gonna fucking actually do what we should do as a game company. You don't hear that quite as often. You see that from indie devs, which is much. That's why a lot of people are supporting like indie dev companies. You just don't hear about people talking about like Call of Duty as much anymore, because they have been pretty ass for the most part, and not in like, oh hey, the game just sucks. It's ass in the aspect that it's the same exact fucking game over and over and over. There's nothing new about it. Which is just sad. I hate that kind of thing, honestly. But, you know, it is what it is, really. You can't... There's no way to really kind of like turn back the clock and be like, yeah, hey, let's make a game good again. And it's mostly just the repetitive nature of how fucking... of how that works. It's the constant over and over, we have the same exact fucking thing again, and then again, and then again. That people are kind of tired of, to be honest. Which I get. Yeah. Either way, I've talked for a bit. I am gonna go see if Power World has released the update, for one. And if it has, I'm gonna download it and play it a little bit, see if it's something that I would want to make like a solo series on. Or if it would even work for that. Either way, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to support me, other than just watching the videos, I have two ways that you can go about that down below in the description. The first way is my Honeygain referral code link. How it works is you press the link, You sign up for an account, download the app or program on either your PC or an Android device, something with Google Play. Uh, and then as you use that device, it earns you money. And how it supports me, because I'm not sponsored by them, that's my personal link, is over the course of you earning $20, Honeygain gives me $5. That's how it works. It's just that simple. Uh, and it's not something that you're gonna make a ton of money on. You're gonna be making like $20 every couple months, really. Like 2 or 3 months, you'll make $20. But you're not doing anything for that money other than using the device you would normally be using. You're not doing anything different with it. You're not having to do surveys or anything. But the other way down below does require capital. It is a donation page. There is nothing on there that it's exclusive. It is strictly for donations. It is my coffee link. When I do go to write stuff, I do post updates on there about it. But that's not that often. If I'm working on like a project for something, I'll also probably post that there. I do have a Twitter as well. x.com/silverwriter7. Writer, it's silver, the color, or the element, the metal. And then writer, as in somebody who writes a story. And then the number 7. Yes, that's simple. Don't ask why it's that. I mean, it's kind of obvious. My name's Silver. I'm a writer. Favorite number is 7. Like, it's kind of obvious, but, like, that's still something that's... If you want... I do occasionally post updates there, but I don't quite as often. I might start putting more updates for, like, just asking the general questions, just trying to, like, get people engaged towards the channel, that kind of stuff. But I don't really like doing that a ton of times. I like my growth to be pretty natural. But either way, if you want to, I don't have a link for that. You just have to look me up on Twitter. I still call it Twitter. I hate X. I hate the name X. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. And for the ones who have made it this far, 33 minutes into the video, and have watched all the way through, up until now, I want you to know I want you to have a genuine thank you. I don't know why you thought I was interesting enough to watch this long, but I do really appreciate it. It makes me feel good to know that people watch and genuinely want to, you know, kind of just chill here while I'm doing my stupid bullshit in video games. So, I just wanted you to know you're special. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And for everybody else, thank you all so much for watching. And I will catch you all in the next one.